This segment is brought to you by Central National Bank. Put our ag professionals to work for you.
One of the last factors that I would like to talk about, briefly, is about the effect of the low temperatures and how these low temperatures can be impacting crops. On the night of September 11th, we have some low temperatures that they were going around through the state. Specifically, I want to make some focus on the central section in Kansas and the northwestern section in Kansas. We do have some temperatures that they were reaching really close to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So the question for everyone, and the question that we have from farmers, is how these low temperatures are impacting yields. So when we are looking specifically for corn, the effect of the low temperatures and how the corn is advancing in the growing season, I'm looking that the corn is, as we mentioned before, is getting to dent stage, and is from there we are moving very close, and we have maybe 20-15 days until maturity. So the impacts of any kind of early season or freeze effects, as we have probably on the overnight temperatures, is probably not that bad, just because the corn is very advanced. And the main impact that we can see is probably we will be affecting some of the seed weight, depending on exactly how low was the temperature. And when we are looking to low temperature, we are probably thinking about two factors. The first one is the absolute value. So are the temperatures below 30 degrees? So if the temperature is below 30 degrees, regardless how long is the duration of that temperature, we know that that kind of a temperature value can kill the corn plants. So if we are experiencing some situations, the position in the field or places with not really so much residue, those situations are the ones that we may probably see even when the air temperature is probably around 30 degrees. That specific area in the field might be lower. So we will probably start to see in the next coming weeks some effects of that. And how we will be seeing those effects, one of the main effects that we will be seeing is a premature leaf necrosis. Basically, we are seeing more senescence. In some of the corn that is already close to harvest, we will probably not get to see any effect because some of the corn is already dry. So the only impact that we get to see is that there will be a disconnection between all the flow of nutrients that is going from the plant to the ear, and the ear is interrupting kind of the growth of the kernels, and the plants are probably getting to maturity induced by the low temperature. But as I mentioned before, in corn the effect is really minimum, just because we are getting really close to the harvest time.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
So the second crop that I would like to touch base is on the sorghum. Well, what happened with the temperatures when the low temperatures are impacting sorghum? And the main effect is very similar to what we mentioned in corn. We tend to see, and we potentially will be seeing, some low test grain. And the low test weight and the low seed, is just driven by a small seed size. So at this moment, as we explained before, in sorghum we are entering into a coloring stage. So we are still working on the grain filling, so the seeds are still changing in size. And any temperature that is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and is below probably even more 30 degrees will be really closing the flow of nutrients from the plant and the flow of carbon from the plant to the head and to the grains. So that situation, what it is promoting is basically that the seeds will be staying in that specific size, and the seed weight and the small seeds will be produce maybe some troubles and issues when we are harvesting for threshing. So in this case, when we are thinking about sorghum and due for the growth stage that we are facing, we may see some more impacts on sorghum as compared with corn on the low temperatures, just because it will probably be impacting much more on the low test grain, and also maybe we may see some impacts on the grain quality, how much starch protein ratio we have in the grain. And the last one is for soybeans. And on soybeans, as we mentioned before, as we were talking on all the different crops, we are still at the pod set, so we are entering into the process of beginning of seed formation, beginning of seed filling. And soybeans are also highly impacted by low temperature, and we are seeing a very similar numbers when the temperature is below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, regardless of what is the duration of the intensity of that cold temperature stress. Leaf senescence, some of the leaves are being affected. We also have some premature pod maturation, and the main impact on soybeans will be on the seed weight. And the main issue is that we are still defining the seed weight, so anything that is impacting seed weight will be severely impacting yields. So at least for some areas around the state, we have that concern that we may probably see some of these cold temperatures, low temperatures overnight, that they will be impacting leaf senescence in the crop, will be stopping the seed growth, and we will probably consequently seeing some negative impact in yields. So the main concept and the main message that we need to learn from here is just we need to go out, and from the time that we are seeing these very low temperatures, let's just wait 5 to 7 days, and then after that we can go out and do scouting. If we tend to see that the leaves are being senesced, and the senescence seems to be not related to any kind of a regular senescence, and sometimes how we can get to identify that is because we are taking a look to the soybeans, and the leaves that they are being dry or they are presenting the necrotic are the ones that they are in the top section of the canopies. So that's one of the symptoms or signs that they probably will say, yeah, we were seeing some kind of effect of cold temperature. So the only thing that we can do at this point is just to go out, make sure that we are scouting for these issues, and really, I mean, the main message is just to make sure that we can probably detect this. This will be producing maybe some anticipation in harvest, so that's probably the main message that we have for everyone.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Now's the time to overseed your lawn. The success of your lawn depends on the quality you plant and the proper fertilizer. Plant 100% weed-free seed with top-rated varieties tested by KSU. Always use Fertilome New Lawn Starter for faster, stronger root development. Don't waste time and money with lower quality seed from the box stores.
Join the Jackson's Greenhouse WIBW Garden Club and save 10% on your lawn seed and Fertilome New Lawn Starter.